Covid19 deaths and cases in South Korea have hit a daily record. Officials reported some 429 fatalities, the highest since the beginning of the pandemic. And more than 600,000 infections were also added this morning, just a day after cases topped 400,000 yesterday. Statistics show South Korea is accounting for about 20% of new cases worldwide, and that's more than any other country. Local media reports are saying the surge in infections stems partly from large-scale political rallies prior to the country's presidential election last week. Even with record-high infections and deaths, Prime Minister Kim Buk-kyum is pushing ahead with plans to continue easing restrictions. He has called on health officials to lower the infection disease level of coronavirus. Julie Yu has more on South Korea's upswing in infections. What's behind the numbers and when some say this wave might peak?
The speed of this coronavirus surge in South Korea is simply stunning. Cases were at around 310,000 on Monday, and today double that, along with record deaths. So what's going on? The blame falls squarely on the Omicron strain and its highly transmissible subvariant called BA.2. It's being held by a pullback on public health restrictions. Quarantine restrictions and border controls have been significantly eased. For example, adults no longer have to show proof of vaccination or negative tests when entering potentially crowded spaces such as restaurants. Lab testing has been saved for high-risk groups, so a bigger reliance on rapid antigen tests despite concerns over their accuracy. But are the numbers as scary as they seem? For now, no. The South Korean health officials say the medical response remains stable now that they've expanded resources and have more than 1.6 million virus carriers with mild or moderate symptoms isolating at home to save hospital space. More than 30% of ICUs designated for COVID-19 treatment are still available. The number of critically ill patients eased slightly today. And if you look at deaths overall, of nearly 8.3 million confirmed cases, fewer than 12,000 people have died. That's a fatality rate of 0.14%. A senior health ministry official has said this Omicron-driven wave could reach its peak this week or next week at the latest. That's when the eye-popping numbers are expected to subside. Meantime, South Koreans are being encouraged to get their booster shots. More than 62% have already done that. COVID-19 vaccines will be administered to children aged 5 to 11 later this month.
Disarray in Hong Kong as residents blame the government for unclear messaging about a potential mass testing. The government says it is still refining a compulsory mass COVID-19 testing scheme and will announce details when it is confirmed. The city previously announced plans to test the entire population 3 times for coronavirus this month. The news sent many residents panicking. Some confused about the severity of possible lockdowns expected to occur while the testing is conducted, took their concerns to social media. The government is urging residents to refrain from spreading inaccurate information online. Hong Kong has recorded nearly 1 million infections within the last 3 months since Omicron broke through. The surge has put a strain on the healthcare system. China has just sent another group of 300 medics over to help with the city's COVID fight. Besides aiding with medical staff, China is also sending coffins amid a supply crunch in Hong Kong. The city's death rate is now the highest in the world, the bulk of them from unvaccinated elderly populations. Morgues are running out of space, with some hospitals resorting to using refrigerated containers to store bodies.